So finding your way to a tall spine and a comfortable seat. Close your eyes for a few moments and allow yourself to get settled in. Just breathe. Nothing else on the agenda for now. Everything else can wait. All that's here is the sensation of your breath and your awareness of it. So just using this moment here in the beginning as like you're checking in to establish like your baseline. So when you can notice how you're doing today, note using the body, the breath, the mind as little signposts to let you know. And then let's try to keep lightly aware of ourselves throughout practice and just notice how things might shift, things might change a little while we breathe and move and stretch together. So how about, I think I've decided that we're going to lean into keeping it nice and relaxing and a little bit sleepy. So we'll start with a big inhale through the nose, exhale, open your mouth and make a sighing noise. Especially if you're at home alone, to let your sighs be as big and as loud and as expressive as you want. There's nobody there to judge you. Couple more. All right, inhale, take the shoulders up toward the ears and then back and down in big circles. Get the other way. Okay, hands on the knees, round your back, tuck your spine, tuck your chin. And then the opposite, bring the chest forward, look up a little bit, tuck your elbows toward each other, back and forth. Bring a little movement in the spine. See how it feels. All right, lovely. Sending yourself back. So you can stick with one of those, like the shoulder shrugs or the cat cows, or you could join me with some neck circles. I give that option because neck circles don't feel good to everybody. So if that turns out to be you, just do something else. So for the neck circles, you pretend to take your nose up to like 12 o'clock on a clock face, and then sweep it around clockwise, like you're tracing your nose along the numbers. A couple of times one way. And then a couple times the other direction. Let your nose kind of center itself back up in the middle. And let's do the long version of our neck stretches. So the long leisurely trip through the neck. So starting with this right ear, tip it down toward the right shoulder, reach away with the left fingertips. and hold and kind of reach through the fingertips. Maybe find just the right spot, just the way to reach that feels really good over here on the side of your neck. Breathing and holding. Okay, let your hands come on back into the lap and then nod your head slowly, gently back and forth. So the chin kind of tucks and the nose heads down toward the earth, and then you slowly come in with it back up. You can even go a little higher and look toward the sky if that doesn't, bother your neck in some way. Always staying in a range of motion of what feels good to you. Gently nodding upwards and then back down toward the floor. Okay, maybe one more time and then meet me down there with the nose toward the floor for our next move. So from there, taking some little loop-de-loops or figure eights with the tip of your nose, have little pulsing movements. For me, that really helps get in the muscles on the kind of side and back side of my neck, and see if that works for you too. Find some little movements that work. Last couple of moments here, finish it off. Lovely. Before we go to the other side, let's stretch the underside of the neck. So this one's a little funny. First, we're going to give ourselves an underbite. So jutting the lower teeth out under the upper teeth, and then lift your chin up toward the sky. So a little bit like so. Maybe one more moment. And release. And then let's head on over to the left. Left ear down toward the left shoulder. Reach away with those right fingertips and hold. Let your hand come back in and rest in your lap, and then slowly start to nod down toward the floor and back up again. Mindful of how the movement feels in your unique body. And finding things that feel right for you. And next time that nose is pointed down toward the earth, keep it there. And then find those little pulsing movements like loop-de-loops, figure eights, or conducting an orchestra with the tip of your nose. Until you find anything that feels like it needs to be worked out there in the backside or side of your neck. Last couple of moments here. Lovely. Okay, come back to center. Let it go. Inhale, reach skyward with your arms. Stick a big, big, big. Like imagining you're drawing this big sun shape with your fingertips, and then flip your palms, come on down. Maybe through this, we can kind of get the sunshine to come back in after a little bit of a gloomy day. Doesn't hope to hurt, or it doesn't hurt to hope, right? I guess it doesn't hurt to hope either. Hope to hurt. So, okay, a couple more. Maybe one more just because it feels good. From up here in the sky, bend at the elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach on back up again. A couple more times. Lovely. And let that go. Press one hand down toward the earth. Press the other up skyward. We're trying to stretch here on the side, so whatever little flourish you can do with the fingertips to help with that. Inhale to center. Exhale, take it the other way. Back and forth a couple of times, your pace. All right, and then the other thing in the upper body that we haven't really warmed up is our twisters. So let's do that now. And I'll let you do whatever feels right. Just keep a tall spine when you do this, a little bit of a lift in your chest, and try to keep your legs still. So I'm just going to gently sway back and forth a little bit, kind of slowly exploring. And then if it starts to feel good, I might kind of get my shoulders involved and maybe go a little deeper into the twist on each side. But if it feels crunchy or funky for you today, you don't have to force yourself to do anything that doesn't feel right. Let your body call the shots. Okay. One more for the road. Lovely. Let's let that go. So I think I want to stay seated and then just keep exploring some of the gentle movements that we've already started with. So find out your way to this goddess position with the legs. That's the one where the knees are the part. My feet are off screen, but I've got my toes pointed in the same direction as my knees. Like I opened myself up like a book here, like there's an imaginary line in the middle and I just popped right open. So from here, let's find some spine circles. So bring this chest over here toward the right, and then sweep across, and then come back and tuck your belly in toward your spine. It's almost like we're trying to draw this big circle around a center line in the middle. So once you do this a couple of times and start to feel like you're not going to fall out of your chair and you sort of get the idea, then you can start to explore. So maybe it feels good to send a shoulder up or the other shoulder up. Maybe it feels good to take really small, tight circles or really big, loose ones. Whatever feels right. Okay. Next time your chest is over here near the left, pause for a second. Let's switch it. Sweep it across. Go back, tuck in. A couple of times this way. Giving yourself the freedom to follow whatever little stretchy urges that your body comes up with. Often your body knows what you need. Just need to listen to it. Okay. Sending yourself back up. Maybe walk your feet just a smidge wider, depending on where you are already. Maybe just a little bit wider so that you feel like real steady. And then let's bring this right elbow down to rest on the thigh. Kind of rotate your chest a little bit. Let's send this left hand across the horizon line. Your bicep will get really close to your ear and then open up the palm to the sky and reach behind you however far feels comfortable for you. And then switch it up. So hand goes across the horizon line with the palm down and then opens up skyward, palm up, sweeps around back there, somewhere around here, flip the palm to where it sweeps across the horizon line once more, and so on. A couple more times on that general trajectory. Making these movements as small or as big as feels good to you. And then how about we reverse the direction just for fun, see how that feels. Check back in with this right elbow and see if you can press really firmly into it. We kind of have a tendency over time to slump. See if you can check in and make sure that you're still really pressing there. And then let this last sweep kind of pull you back up to center. Okay, before we do the other side, let's take it all in reverse. So bring your legs in toward each other, cross this right leg over. So we're doing eagle legs. So that looks like for some people, you could take this right foot and wrap it around the back of your calf here. So you do that if that's how your body works. The rest of us are here. And then we've got this left side pinned down. This left hip is on the bottom. So that means this left arm is going to be on top. We cross them over. So you can just give yourself a little hug, or if you want to, you can try to bring the hands together, or you can kind of split the difference by just having the right hand bent and you're gently taking this left elbow across the body. All of that works. I'll do the hug. That's what sounds right to me today. Breathing and holding for a few moments. Noticing how this position makes your body feel. Sometimes it seems hokey, but a gentle hugging position, a gentle folding in on oneself can be pretty relaxing. One more moment. All right, let's unwind and take ourselves to the other side. Take those legs back open into the goddess pose. Left elbow down here on your thigh. Inhale, sweep this right arm across the horizon line, palm down, and then at some point, your bicep will get close to your ear. You open up, palm toward the sky, reach behind you, and then horizon line, palm down. You get the idea. A couple times your pace. Trying to stay active in that left elbow the whole time, pressing into your thigh. That'll give you a little passive core work while you're here, while we're working on shoulder range of motion. 2 things for the price of 1. Okay, maybe it's time to switch the direction of your circles. Well, snap crackle going on in my shoulder today, at least on this side anyway. Last moment. Let this next sweep kind of, the momentum of it, pull you back up to the center line. Let's walk our legs back in and we'll cross the left over this time, squeezing the thighs together tightly, wrapping this left foot around the back of your shin if you can, and sit up tall. This time, the right elbow is going to be on top for whichever version of your eagle arms you're doing. I'm going to do the hug, but you could also bend the left elbow and just hold the right hand in place, or try to bring your hands toward each other. Breathing and holding. Noticing how this pose feels for you. I try not to tell people how poses feel, because what feels relaxing to one might feel claustrophobic to somebody else. And that's fine. Everybody has their own experiences with these poses. It's just what's important is that you're aware of it, you notice it, so that you can use each stretch as a tool for when you need it. All right, so letting that go. Let's take a big star pose just to stretch ourselves back out again. Heels on the ground, toes up toward the sky, and then reach, expand yourself in all directions. Like a 5-pointed star, crown of the head, fingertips and toes. And release. So let's take our lower body cool down. You can stay put. I'm just turning to the side because I think it's a little bit easier to see what I'm up to. So come out toward the edge of your seat. Sit up tall. Take the right leg out, toes come up to the sky. And then if you need to, hinge forward a little bit. We're looking for stretchy sensation here in the back of this right leg. If you don't find it, play around with little details until you do. Sometimes it's a lift of the toes. Sometimes it's more like you imagine really pressing through the heel. Sometimes it's that you need to lean forward a little bit more. You go on your own little personal search to find just the right version of the pose for you. Couple more moments here. Come on back up. Let's try it the other way. with the other leg. Toes skyward, tall spine. Oh my goodness, this leg is tight today. Hinging out. Breathing. Sometimes on days when you encounter a lot of tightness, you can sort of come out of the pose a little bit and then very, very gently ease back in after a few moments and see if that doesn't help you out a little bit. What's never going to help is forcing our way into the pose, because that actually backfires. Our body, the muscles like tense up to protect you from hurting yourself. And so you can't really access the stretch that way. You got to be gentle and slow about it. Last couple of moments. Come on back up. Let's see about crossing this leg over. Foot flexed, tall spine, that figure 8 or figure 4, stretch with the legs. Lean forward a little bit if you need to. Always got the option to prop this foot up on something that's a little lower if that makes the stretch accessible for you. Since we're home, we have all kinds of props to help make that happen, like maybe an ottoman or a little stool or something like that. All these things that were never available in the yoga studio. You can make your own yoga studio here at home. Breathing. Okay, let's try it on the other side. Foot flexed, tall spine, hinging if you need to. You may not need to because a lot of us are really tight in the hips. So if you're up here and you already feel stretched, then just stay there. All right, so come on back up. For our last little move, let's go ahead and grab the back of the chair or interlace your fingers back there. Lean back a little bit with bent elbows and then slowly straighten them while you lift your chest up toward the sky. Sometimes I tend to strain my neck during this pose, so I kind of move it around instead so that I remember to not try to stretch and lift through the neck while I'm here. I'm trying to let the stretch be here across the front of the body down into the arms. All right, last couple of moments. Letting it go. Find your way back to a posture that supports meditation for you. Maybe sitting on the edge of your seat in that mountain pose of the chair, the one that we started in, and closing your eyes. Let's do a little breath counting. One of the most basic anchors there is, but in my mind, pretty effective one. So let's give it a shot. So with each inhale, count to yourself 1, 2, 3, and so on. And if you get to a place where you realize your thoughts have crowded in and you don't remember which number you were on, that's fine. Just try to practice noticing and starting again. Last couple of moments. You start to tune into sounds and smells and sensations in the room around you. And then slowly, when you're ready, opening your eyes, taking one more big inhale together, sweeping the arms up overhead, and then the palms meet and come down to the heart. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you on Wednesday.